What are the next ones we're working on right now? She's not here, so I get to decide what we do next. So maybe we just do this one box of gray youth medium large for today. Also, then I match the hat we're gonna be doing. I really didn't need this to carry one box over, but we'll go with it. So today, we're gonna be taking you behind the scenes while we're getting ready to bag and barcode all of our inventory to send it to a third-party fulfillment center. And if you're new here, I'm Stacey, founder CEO of Ponyback Hats. I'm a mom of 3 boys and just trying to figure out this crazy e-commerce journey. I'm so glad that you're here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and come along with us today. We need barcode stickers. Where's my little sticker dispenser? Little sticker dispenser. Like, and this is a sticker dispenser. Yes.
It's actually for paper towels.
You'll see in a minute. Guard dog. What's happening out there? Is a stranger trying to give my kid ice cream? So with this bag and barcoding, my family has been helping my kids. I've been having my kids come and helping me bag and barcode. We're here, and my youngest, who is 5, like, he clearly needed a break. So I kicked him outside for a minute. Next thing you know, my oldest is like, who's that man he's talking to? I'm like, what? I run outside, and this just like random dude is like trying to feed my kid an ice cream cone, which, like, it was probably innocent enough. I mean, we live in a small town, probably innocent, I'm hoping. Anyway, I did not let my child take the ice cream cone.
Well, he refused it. He was good.
He did refuse it. Stranger danger, he won. He did the right thing. Except I was like, to the stranger, I was like, I'm sorry, you can keep that. We're trying to teach him not to take candy from strangers. He was like, oh, no, I'm not a stranger. I'm just a local, like, guy. And I'm like, that's fine. Bye. Totally left him. Anyways.
You're like, Luke, get back inside.
I'm like, get back inside now. Anyway, it was probably fine, and I probably overreacted, but I went home and I was to my husband. I'm like, so our youngest may have been almost abducted today. So thank you, guard dog. Okay, so we kind of have like our base set up here. Obviously not bagged and barcoded hats. We'll go down the assembly line. Now, it's just gonna be Christine and I here today because it's still going. Because really the rest don't really want to be on YouTube, but that's fine. So Christine and I are just gonna show you. But my mom has been huge help and support in getting everything done. She's actually hired her friends also because we needed some extra hands, which is super cute. Anyway, but yeah, Christine and I today. So kind of got our station up here. We just need to print the barcode stickers now. Where's the end? Sorry. It's like, what's that?
The ribbon twirling.
The ribbon twirling.
I was talking about it this morning.
Don't step on the barcode, Stacey. Oh my gosh. Sorry, we usually don't have this much fun doing it. This is really activating like this sore like spot I have in my back. This whole action. Which is probably, I'm doing this now. It might be from the Pilates challenge, which by the way is still going on. If you don't know about our Pilates challenge, we are offering a free Pilates challenge, 30-day Pilates challenge with Laura Melgar, who is one of our brand ambassadors. And I just reached out to her because we've done challenges in the past. We usually do them January and September. But I just don't have the capacity to run them anymore, so I reached out to Laura and was like, Laura! So we should definitely link Laura. She has a YouTube channel too. You can see her, some of her Pilates moves on there. It's messed down there. Okay, and she finally rolled it up after 5 minutes. But we don't technically have like a sticker dispenser, so I impromptu created one out of our paper towel holder because I was like, this is crazy. We're pulling and like it was getting all messy and was falling on the ground and I couldn't handle it, so I MacGyvered that. And I was so proud of myself. Anyways.
Guess I should take the stickers. I saw you look at it. She was definitely gonna let me just go through the whole video.
I wasn't.
She was.
I was going to wait to see if you were going to do it, like while it was on or something.
You were just
like,
gonna let me go through the whole video with stickers on still. I'm sticker free.
You are sticker free. I think, do we have everything we need to actually do this right now? Is this all we need?
Smell like licorice.
It's still in my teeth. I can feel it. I think maybe you should have a tape marker writing.
Do we not do that after? When we're putting them in the cases? Or are you going to do that now?
I really don't care. It doesn't probably even matter at all. In Barcoding 101, we put the hat in the bag. I mean, it's really not rocket science. And then, like, squeeze out the air. You don't want poopy bags.
Nope.
That's not good.
Part 2.
That's you.
You get a barcode. And you put it on the bag.
Somewhere where it can be scanned nicely.
Yeah. And you gotta make sure it doesn't go into wrinkles.
And you gotta make sure that it's flat. If the barcode is scrunched, then it can't be scanned.
Yeah.
There's also that.
It's a pretty intricate process.
Very. I mean, my 5-year-old has been helping sticker. I mean, mostly straight.
Yeah.
Some like on an angle where we're like,
Most
okay,
of mine are on an angle.
that's still scannable though.
Yeah.
So we just roll with it.
Well, if you adjust the hat, it looks straight.
And my 10-year-old has been bagging sometimes.
Yep.
They've been like just helping, keep us fully stocked.
Printing and rolling up barcodes.
They've been printing. They've been really involved in every single part of it, actually, which is great. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I'm like, teaching them hard work. They need to know what hard work is. Meanwhile, my youngest is taking breaks literally every 5 minutes. I need a break now.
It's been 20 minutes.
Then I gave him a timer the one day. You need to do 20 minutes of work before.
Did it work? I don't remember.
Well, a little. Like, he was a little bit more focused. It's just that, honestly, like, yesterday was a bad day because we had been here for 3 days in a row.
Right after school, right?
Right after school. I mean, he's only in grade 1, so, like, his attention span was... Okay, hold on. I need to flip the bags around.
It's not efficient.
It's not efficient. It isn't. I think now I have, like, some going the one way. The opening is going the one way and the other way.
The joke is that Stacey's always on me about efficiency.
And then I catch her sometimes and I think she's not being efficient and she's actually being more efficient. You're not being efficient. You're like, but I did. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. You are being efficient. Let me take that back. I'm sorry, Christine.
It's okay.
Really, I'm not being very efficient right now because I am. I mean, it's more. It's the camera. Yeah. I'm not trying to bag as quickly as possible.
Well, in how many hours yesterday? I'd say about 8 hours. Between all the helpers we had, we did 28 boxes. Master cartons of 72.
Yeah.
So
that was an epic day.
That was.
We were rolling. I mean, once you're like doing a task for a long time, you start to get much faster at it.
Yeah.
When you're doing the same task for a long period of time. So we try to like, oh no. I don't like this one.
Maybe I should leave it.
Because, look. Oh. Fold it. That's one of our major, okay, this is a good time to talk about imperfects.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just found one. I'm like, reject, these are supposed to be already quality checked, and I'm like, nope, yeah, I don't like this one, so we don't want to send this to a customer. So I guess we have to go off on a little tangent because this just made me think of it. Are we gonna replace this one? Yeah. Okay, perfect. We'll just replace this one so we still have a full case. Anywho, where do we even begin? I feel like there could be a very long story in this supposed short story tangent.
We didn't promise short, we just promised it was gonna be a tangent.
Here's the tangent. Because when I started, this is a completely new like process procedure for my manufacturer, completely new. Our quality defects are like very high, like way too high, past industry standard, unacceptable. But it is what it is, right? Like, we have to learn, we have to figure out the processes. My manufacturer has to figure out the processes for this because they don't do this for anyone else. This is a uniquely, I mean, hopefully coming soon patented product. We'll have to do a YouTube on that. Anyway, if that comes to fruition. Oh, the tangent within the tangent. So as such, our quality defects are high. And as such, like, what do you do with them? I don't want to send literally hundreds and hundreds of hats to the landfill. That is just not an option for me. So initially, we donated a ton of hats. So I had my sister-in-law's sister, a random connection. She would call around. She would call around to different places who would offer some support to women in need, and we would just donate the hats. And then I got to thinking, like, well, then we actually just had more that we couldn't even find. We couldn't even find homes to donate them to. And that's how it was like, okay, well, what else are we gonna do with these? Like, we can't find anywhere else to go. So then I thought, well, we could sell them at a massive discount. Because with a minor imperfection, possibly that's like it's still a beautiful hat people can wear. Like, we were donating them with the expectation that these people were wearing them. So why not? Why not sell them for like 50% off? And actually it's more than 50% off. 60? I don't know. Can't do the mental math. Anyways. So that's what I decided to do. So last September, like to the day almost, we had our imperfect sale for the very first time, and they sold out within hours.
I tried to get 3 hours after the sale started because I was at work. I was working somewhere else this time last year, and I tried to get one, and I was like, oh, Stacey, like, I'm texting her because I knew her, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for the imperfect sale. I'm like, as soon as my shift is done, I'm gonna... No, they were gone within like 3 hours, I want to say.
Yeah, within 3 hours, all of them, all the sizes, everything was gone from it. I'm like, okay, well, this is definitely the way that we can do this in the future. Yeah. So we still have donated some this past year to, like, you know, if it made sense and if people were open to it. But we just were like, hey, we're just gonna stockpile them until September. So I have a trailer in my driveway. I wonder if I should snap a picture of this trailer to you and then send it to you. So the trailer's job is just to house the imperfect hats.
Yeah.
So next week, which when you're watching this, it's already gonna be happened or soon to be happening.
Yeah.
I gotta bring them all back, and we're gonna unload them, and we're gonna put them up for sale on the site. But that is happening, like, it might have already happened by the time you watch this video. I don't know. We're hoping not.
Depends how fast Christine can edit the video.
Depends what Christine can do in her free time this weekend. No. So that is the story on the imperfects. Just to give you some context about what are some I can go up to
I was gonna say, go up to the camera, make sure it's focused though.
So sometimes one of the things that happens is, like, the back magnetic seam just gives us some problems.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. In this case, I don't love it because the one side of the magnet is like overlapping the other side of the magnet, and they should be flush and like lined up together. So this is an imperfect when they're like overlapping. So that's one of my... Compared to this beautiful one, which has no overlaps. I'm not even sure you can see that. Maybe do close it. Nope, it's not in focus.
There you go.
No overlaps. And this one's got, like, you know, that consistent. This one has like a big overlap that I don't love. The other one is gapping. I think I have one. Can I reach from down there? Okay, so the idea of the hat is that mostly this back magnetic seam should be flush and there shouldn't be a lot of like gapping holes, but sometimes what happens is like it's just not straight. So when the line isn't straight, we get a little bit of just like, we call them gaps. I don't know what the technical term is. But if, yeah, the line just somehow, I don't know if it's in the sewing or like there's some tubing in here. Like I don't know if it's a part of the tubing. I don't know what it is, but something just doesn't line up properly. It creates a bit of a gap. And like if it's a tiny, tiny little hairline gap, we'll just, like that's okay. But if it's like significant where it's like, that's gonna be like a hole, then I'm like, no. So this one was just too much for me. And I rejected it. Then sometimes we have like, and I don't have an example of this, but the fabric just will have an imperfection on it, like potentially just like spots of something, or like, because the rolls of fabric are being stored in big warehouses, so it's not like super clean spaces, and so like lots of times we'll just have some different fabric imperfections that are kind of a big deal. So I would say those are like the top 3 things. It's like the magnets overlapping funny, or there's a little bit of gapping in the magnet. But like in both of those cases, if you're wearing the hat with your hair up, you're never ever gonna notice that. Ever.
No.
But then yeah, sometimes it's like a small fabric imperfection, which like after wearing the hat for like a month, you're likely gonna have a small fabric imperfection just from like your daily wear and tear. So those are usually minor. And if they're major, they won't be a part of the imperfect, because then they just
don't work.
They don't work. We then they really go in the, well, right now we just have a box of them and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but I think my plan is to take them to, there's like a secondhand store, and then like if someone wanted to spend the time to like try to fix up the fabric imperfection, they could, I guess. I don't know. I still don't know.
Or
They're
they
just
could
right
get
now,
them away for free.
we just have a box, so that's what we do with those. So yeah, that's imperfects. Did I forget anything about the imperfects that I should have mentioned?
No, I think you covered it all.
Yeah, so that's why we have imperfects. And now, okay, so this is how this all ties together, which maybe we can finish telling them while we're working.
Okay, good one.
So I think how I initially started this tangent was gonna say that we haven't considered a fulfillment center up until this point, because before this point we just had too many quality defects that it didn't make sense. I couldn't have my manufacturer ship directly to a fulfillment center. Like I needed to inspect and ensure like we corrected all of that frustrating quality problems. But I am happy to report that they have been solved. So, and a part of that, and I don't know if you even care about this, but a part of that is you can hire like an inspection team to inspect your product before it gets shipped out. So the current manufacturer I have actually has an in-house inspection team, so we pay them to do the inspection of our product, 100% inspection. They pull out all the defects, they rework them, and then ship it to us. So we have taken our defective rate from like, I don't, like at one point, and it always varied too. It wasn't always like this, it was consistent. It was never consistent. Like some hats would come in like navy, for instance, and it might have had a defective rate of like 3%, but then we would get a white batch that like was like, I don't know. I wanna throw out a number like 15 or like some crazy high percentage at some point. Yeah. And so it just would always vary and it was never consistent, but we worked out like how they inspect, what they're looking for, what, you know, how to weed out all the bad stuff. And now we have this inspection happening before they even leave. And we're bag and barcoding this batch because this was before we had those procedures in place. But now that we have them in place, my manufacturer can actually do the bag and barcoding for us, so we don't have to. So now we're at that place, like it's only taken 2 years.
Only, is that all?
Only 2 years to get here, to finally be at this spot where, I don't know, like it's just been, it hurts my heart. Like every single time we'd open up a case and it'd be like, oh, and you know, there's a high percentage of those that are bad. I was like, ugh. Like it's just such a waste. It felt like such a waste in resources, and so it was like it's been my top priority for like the past 2 years. And now we're finally here and looking to the future to really want to grow. And this was foundational to have fixed before we could really, really like put down the gas pedal, if that's a phrase. Pedal to the metal. Yeah. but now we're there, and it feels so good to be there. We can stop hurting my heart with all the bad hats. But that also being said, that means that this is going to be our last imperfect sale of life.
Yep.
Probably.
I mean, kind of hopefully.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, that is the hope. If it's not, it's like, oh dear.
It's gonna be a problem.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sure a lot of brands just like landfill their products.
No.
That is not an option for me. Like, I'm really sorry. I've made all of my decisions up until this point to like choose fabrics. Like, the reason why we went with cotton and recycled polyester weren't because we thought that that would be cheapest or like,
it's definitely
not. It's not cheapest. It's definitely not cheapest. And it has actually created so many more restrictions on us. But to have a natural fiber, to have a fiber that's recycled, I mean, okay, I know, like, we don't tout ourselves as being a sustainable brand, but I have personal values, and I'm going to try the best I can with what I have available to me, and that's just always going to be how I try to do it. So, anywho, it's not an option. It's not an option to send hats to the landfill. So,
except the ones that look like they got run over by a truck.
They look like they got run over by a truck.
There's like 2. I think they must have fallen off or something.
Well, but we have
there's tire marks.
Okay, but they're literally in a box.
I know.
Like, we haven't sent them to the landfill. There is a box that is called garbage hats, but we haven't sent them to the garbage.
They're not in the garbage.
Like, my mom was like, Stacey, can I take those home and like see what I can do with them? Like, maybe I can clean them up. I'm like, yes, you can. Like, let's try that before we do something else. Like, I am just like, I don't know. I'm bound and determined to not send that box of hats to the garbage. Bound and determined. They will not. Maybe I'll just, well, you know what? They could become like hat wall decorations. They could go on a hat wall. I think the front of the hat is fine looking.
But where is the hat wall?
Well, the hat, I mean, there'll be a new spot. Like, I envision someday, Christine, that we have like a office / workspace thing. Okay. Thank you, assistant.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I hope we have like a... Have I not told you about this before? Shall we tell them?
Tangent number 2.
Tangent number 2. So, what I would love, because I love that we have like a remote, like all of our kind of like office staff people are all remote. Like everybody like works.
Including me.
Including Christine usually, who's here temporarily until we get this fulfillment center set up. But I do really love like the work from home vibe. And so like my husband and I are hoping to eventually move into a property that we could have some additional space to have like a bigger like Ponyback workspace.
Oh yes, you have mentioned that.
So like if we had a garage, like it would, if there could be some like top of the garage space where we convert it into like a little like content creator studio and like some desks. I'm like, not like permanent desks, but like if you wanted to come in, or if we had a day where we're doing meetings and you could have like
I'll just drive an hour.
Remote workstation. You're gonna relocate here, right, Christine? Anyway, so you don't have to answer the question.
To be determined.
But yeah, that would be, I would love, I mean, like, I guess we're manifesting it right now because we're sharing it on you. But moving to a fulfillment center has its, like, what do I say, pros and cons?
Yeah, bittersweet.
It's very bittersweet. Like, we had a team meeting the other day, I literally cried. I cried because there's something really special for me and, like, being so close to the customer. Like, I don't order pack every day, but I love that I have the ability to like randomly once a month like order pack, and like that I'm actually, you know, touching and feeling the product that somebody has bought, and we're like writing their name on the parcel, and it just feels so connected. But the problem with that is, like, if I want our business to grow, Like, I just can't operate like a small business who can do that personalization forever. Like, it's just one of the things that you have to let go of. Because if we were to double or triple in size, like, it's just, it becomes impossible to have that same attention to detail, I guess, personalization.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit bittersweet. And, you know, like, obviously, like, our team that works here, a lot of them ended up going back to school this fall, but not everybody. And so it's just been really special. Like, we've been here for a year and 4 months. And so, and the people here have been here with me that long. And so, yeah, it's really sad that a couple people won't have a spot. That's really sad. So yeah, I cried. That made me cry. But other things about it will, like the pros, like for instance this summer, my warehouse manager at the time had a few vacations planned or what have you, and I had to personally, like, I had to be here, like boots on the ground, like constantly here, like order packing, like doing all the things. Again, I love to do that occasionally, but to have that where I need to be setting aside all that time made the fact that, like, I got so far behind in everything else. Like, I missed this huge deadline that I needed to do for my insurance. Actually turned out to be okay, but like my emails got so overrun that I was totally behind, like hundreds of unread emails.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like when I don't have my eye on the ball on like everything administratively, then like we're just at the point where like stuff falls through the cracks, and
you can't have that happening.
I can't have that happening if I want to have a successful, growing business long term. And so, yeah, very bittersweet.
But exciting.
But exciting too, yeah. So it means that then, like, you know, I don't have to be worried about staff who are sick, or need to go on vacation, or like, you know, like it means that I can consistently have another company who is responsible in doing it, and they have to deal with those.
It's a them problem.
It's a them problem. But we haven't, like, we're prepping for this to happen. We're acting like it's happening, but like it's not even official. Like we have signed nothing. We have no permanent date. Because anyway, it's a long story. We won't get in. I won't go into that boring tangent because that is really truly a boring tangent. But yeah, it's just a long process to comb through and like really evaluate to make sure a 3PL, a third-party logistics fulfillment center, if I say the whole thing.
It's too much. 3PL equals fulfillment center.
3PL equals fulfillment center. It's just a lot of work to make sure that you vet one that you're going to trust and that's going to be the right partner. Because the worst thing that you want to do is like, okay, we're going to move from this where we have so much control over this interaction with our customer and getting them their product the way that they need to get it. And if somebody like messes that up, like, so I am not taking it lightly, this responsibility to give this job to somebody else. They gotta be good. So they gotta have references.
Yep.
They gotta pass the Stacey.
That is not an easy test to pass.
What? How would you describe me? I can't think of the word. I know. Christine probably has the word, she just does not want to say it. The Stacey control freak, like into all the details, like it being perfect test. A hard test to pass. She's like turning red. She's like, I know this to be true, but I don't know what to say, so I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Get another stack of hats.
take them, like if and when it actually happens, we'll take them along with us.
On a tour.
On a tour.
That'll be fun.
Unlike,
oh my gosh, another road trip, field trip.
Road trip, field trip.
I love those.
But first, we need to beg and barcode about what? How many did I count? I think it was like close to 10,000.
Hats?
10,000 hats still.
Still? Or
yeah. Well, I think so, because I just ordered those labels, kind of considering what we had to do.
10,000.
And I had calculated, well, sorry, there's another shipment coming.
Oh, right. I was like, I counted 62 cartons yesterday. But yeah. No,
More.
2 days ago.
More is coming. Alright, we're done. We did one master carton bag and barcoding. We got less than 60 left that's here, but more than 100 that's soon gonna be here. But it feels good, you know? It's like you can see the end, so you know when the end is in sight.
Not close. It's nice.
But anyways, thank you so much for being here and following along on our Ponyback journey. We can't wait to maybe like show you the fulfillment center in the future and show you how all of that works. We will take you along with us. So again, thank you so much, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. See you next time.
Bye.
Please put that in. Please put that in.
I will.